Thank you very much, Mr. Taneja, for being with us. And now I invite Ms. Hülya Gedik from Turkey, the chairwoman of the board at Gedik Holding and the chairwoman of the board of trustees of Gedik University, to share her perspective.
Your Highness, distinguished guests, my name is Hülya Gedik. I have a lot of hats. I run a big conglomerate, diversified conglomerate in Turkey. It's in metal and science business, as well as I'm NGO, and we have a university, and we run a university in Turkey. So I'm coming from a long-distance country, which is around 10 hours away by flight. And as you probably know, that Turkey is located between Europe and Asia. And we Turkish people are very accustomed to know both Western culture and Eastern culture as well. So if we move the slide, Turkey is surrounded by the wars for the moment. So in the north, Russia and Ukraine; in the south, Hamas and Israel. And in the wars, as you see, the women and the girls are the most affected ones. And our country, Turkey, is welcoming a lot of refugees. And for the moment, there are 4.6 million refugees living in our country. And when we consider that we are 85 million population in Turkey, it is 1 every 6 people are refugees for the moment. Of course, it is hard to live in the tents, and the women have to give birth to their children in the very difficult conditions, but we, Turkey, are embracing and welcoming all the refugees all around surrounding Turkey. Unfortunately, many talents disappears without being seen or used because the conditions are really insufficient in the refugee camps. So I have to look at my presentation because it's just in my bag. But in the study in Europe, it says that women fear more than men when the war happens, because especially businesswomen, we think that the spread of war will come to our country. But as we all know, fear doesn't help, and also it blocks our progresses. But this is the case. And so it's clearly indicated in the UN 2020 Development Agenda that there are goals, as we all know. And the first one is to end poverty and hunger by creating new jobs, and to achieve gender equality. And the third one is to empower women and girls. This is what I'm working on in my country. And the fourth is to protect the planet and its natural resources. And so these are the highlighted points of Sustainability Development Goals, which is signed by the UN. And the next slide, please. So this is my beloved father. And so he had an enormous role in my life. He was a life changer. And so if my father wasn't my father, I couldn't be in the position to make a speech today in front of you. So he gave me a full support, and I could run the companies because of his trust to me. And my father passed away about 12 years ago, and I achieved to make our companies grow 3 times more. And I opened up companies out of our country in UAE, in Serbia, in Azerbaijan, in India. And so my father was trusting me much more than I trusted myself. But one sentence triggered me to make the force to be success is my daughter can make it. It might be a simple sentence, but it was very meaningful and it was full of motivation to me. And so we are in metals and in steel business, which consider it to be men's businesses, but actually we perceive that there is no any men business. That any jobs can be done by anybody as long as we have knowledge, as long as we have ability, as long as we have desire to make it. And so the number of women who represent at the board of directors are getting more in my country, but still we have to work on it, and it is, it is not easy. I believe that every generation of women has to fight the right of the empowerment of the next generations of women. This is our mission to do. And so the social work that I mentioned that we have been doing for many, many years in our country. So one of our sectors are welding sectors. And here there are shortages of welders in my country and in other countries as well. So what we thought that we can also teach women to weld. So we are making vocational courses, trainings in our country, and to make women be welders. So it's especially for women who do not have professions. This is what we have been doing, and so it's a free program, and it's getting popular in our country. So what we are doing that we are creating jobs for women who haven't taught earlier, and it's like a game-changing occupation. And so, as I said, it's a So at our university, we also invest in future women's leaders by providing support of female youth in the engineering and other STEM, as well as in management and leadership programs. So this is what we have been doing for the last 10 years. And also at our university, there is a Centers Entrepreneurs Application and Research Center, and we consult women to conduct their businesses or to increase the revenue in their businesses. Thus, this is what we have been doing in our society. This is another social work that we have been doing for years. And of course, business life is men's world, but we are trying to increase the number of women in business, especially in the decision-maker level, that we have to increase the population or the participation of the women. But this is what we are doing on educational, vocational training, creating jobs, and investing in science and social economical developments. What is missing in our plate, actually, only the peace and security. This is actually the mission of United Nations Security Council. There's a resolution 1325, which was signed 2000. Actually, this is the landmark for women, for peace and for security. But unfortunately, the implementation is rather slow, but there's a hope. You know, as long as we live, there's a hope, and hopefully it will be more active soon. And two prominent leaders, one from Iraq, so it's King Faisal of Iraq, Al Hashmonite, and also Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the founder of Turkish Republic, and the two visionary leaders. They all respect women. They all taught the rights of women in the past. And so the quote of our founder, Mustafa Kemal, everything we see in the world is the creative work of women. So this is how well said. And thank you very much for listening to me. And I also would like to thank Princess Al Hashemite Nisreen and also our common friend Danish Joshi to give me the chance and opportunity to make a speech in the beautiful and also very prominent day, International Women and Girls Science Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hülya Gedik. And now it is my pleasure and my personal really pleasure to introduce